Hey y'all, welcome to Santino Sunday Cigar Review. Today we are smoking the Liga T52 Stock Cut Toro. Stick around and find out what we have going on, y'all.
Get it.
Alright, welcome back everyone to Santino Sunday Cigar Review. I'm Mike, this is Maddy. We're co-hosting this together, and we're smoking the Liga Privada T52 Toro. And I've kind of started this, I kind of start smoking before Maddy does, just because I want to get a little bit of the profile down. Guys, I know we last week we did, this is our third in a three-part series, so last week we did the Papa Fritas. This is distinctly different for me. What I find is this is a much more balanced cigar, I would say, versus like the Papa Fritas, where we talked about the very different. They weren't even subtle; they were distinct changes in profile and taste as you smoke the cigar. What I'm finding so far in the first third is this is just more balanced, not that distinct. It's all very subtle, and it all blends and flows together as a way different taste to me than last week's cigar from them. How about you, Maddy? What do you get?
So this one for me has been extremely consistent so far. Like, the taste notes are still there, and those taste notes have been the same all throughout the cigar whenever I've been smoking it so far. And getting that Liga earthiness and everything like that in it, it's just been pretty much like that the whole time for me. A little bit of information about this cigar. This has a Honduran and Nicaraguan filler, just like the Papa Fritas that we just smoked. Same Brazilian wrapper on it, but the wrapper, same Brazilian binder, sorry. The wrapper on it is actually a stock cut. And what's so interesting about the stock cut is that it's actually, whenever they harvest the tobacco, usually what they do is they pick off 2 to 3 leaves at a time, and that's called priming. Whereas with the stalk cut, they just cut the entire plant. Now this one has the stalk cut, and it's a sun-grown Connecticut instead of, it's a sun-grown Connecticut, which is a really cool wrapper, and it's pretty hard to come by, which is awesome for me.
And that means it's getting full direct sun out in the field until they stalk cut it.
Yes, it
right?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they hang it up into the barns to dry, so. Stalk and all, so it has a little bit different of a flavor profile, and it's extremely unique of how they cut and ferment this wrapper on it.
And what's the price point of this cigar?
The price point on this cigar, here at Santino's, this is $17. So it's a little bit pricier for a cigar, especially because we always talk about that $8 to $12 range. But you're not going to be disappointed with it whatsoever. This has been a really, really good cigar so far.
A lot of premium tobacco, because this is a much larger size cigar than most cigars out there.
Yeah.
Is this a 7 by 54?
Yeah, I think that's going to be about it. They listed it as a Toro. It's been a little bit bigger than most Toros that I see and I come by on a regular basis. So it's been kind of cool for me so far. But also, I'm starting to notice something on the wrapper here as well. As I'm smoking more into it, it's actually getting a really oily sheen when I'm smoking into it versus on the every other part of it. It's nice and it's actually almost matte. But as I'm smoking into it, there's a little bit more of oil coming out of it.
And would it be safe to say, is that what produces that legendary creamy smoke of a Liga? Versus a lot of other cigars? Honestly,
it depends. The oiliness on this is probably because of how much this tobacco has been curing and fermenting, and all the natural oils that make a cigar taste the way it does are starting to come to the surface and are actually coming through on it.
All right, well, give us a minute. We're going to smoke into the second third, and then we'll get to that exciting try, buy, or deny portion everybody anticipates. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and we're into our second third, and I've noticed something interesting that isn't characteristic in in my experience with Liga, smoking any of their Liga cigars, I went through a short minute or two in this cigar where I believe possibly the tobacco might have been a little loosely rolled, and as you can see, it kind of floured or I don't know, mushroom floured, and now it's kind of like reignited. It was a tough draw for a minute or two, and it's picked right back up where it needs to be, and other than that, it's still just a very pleasant cigar. How about you, Maddy?
Yeah, for me, I've been getting a lot of, like, you know, deep, like, earthiness to it. There's not nearly as much of that pepper on the tongue as there was with the Papa Fritas. And this is actually way more of... I said the Papa Fritas was a medium. This is actually way more even scaled back to the Papa Fritas. So it's been really good so far. I don't usually pick up cigars like this, but it's been really good for me to try it. Yeah.
All right, how about let's move right in to try, buy, or deny.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty safe to say that we've got a good idea about this cigar. What do you feel about this?
For me, this is going to be a try. So the reason why I say that is that the price point for me is a little bit cost prohibitive. I know kind of what I like, and I love a really, really thick, full-bodied cigar, and this one is a little bit more on the lighter end for me. And for $17, that's going to be a little bit more of a, like, I'm happy I tried it, but it's going to be kind of, I'm probably not going to get another one of these, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, and for me, I just don't particularly, as I've evolved in my cigar evolution, so to speak, I just don't like the bigger ring gauges. So the only negative for me, and for maybe others, is if you just don't like this ring gauge, as far as the quality of the smoke, you know, the enjoyment factor, the everything about it is great. I'm just not a big fan of the larger ring gauges. Yeah,
I personally like smaller ring gauges myself. Like, one of my favorite cigars that we have in our humidor is the Padron Churchill that we have. It's a really small ring gauge, things like 7 inches long, but it's one of my favorite cigars that we have. And it's at the price point that I really, really like. It's within that 8 to 12. And for me, this is a little bit bigger of a ring gauge than I usually smoke, and it's a really, really good cigar, and there's definitely people who will try this and absolutely love it, but unfortunately, I love it, I like it, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit, I would definitely go for something else.
And you know, the opposite of that is for some people, because of the rare availability of this, because you'll see the number 9 more prevalent out there in stores. It's the more popular one, but for in your situation, because of where you're at in life, it's a little bit expensive for your budget. And then there are people that will buy a whole box of these because once they see them, they know they're hard to come by. So it just depends what you like and what fits your pocketbook, so to speak.
Alright, thank you guys for watching Santino Sunday Cigar Review. I'd like to thank everybody that came out for our New Year's party. And for our next couple of things, our next series is probably going to be on Fuente, so you'll have to stick around and find out for that one. And we also have an event coming up. I think we'll have more details coming up, and it probably is going to be in the couple of last weeks of January. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications, and definitely check our websites and other social medias that are down in the description, so that way you can get informed on all the latest events. Have fun, y'all.
And Happy New Year, everyone.